Hey, Tara Strong here, and you're listening to the Geekcast Radio Network.
It isn't.
What's wrong, Twilight? Why the long face?
Hello and welcome to The Pullbag. This is episode 131. I'm your host, Dave, Joe, and Mike, and joining me is the Pinkie Pie of the podcasting universe, Nicole, Beatlesdiva, Hailstorm.
Aloha!
No cake for you.
Ah! I'm not good with this, then.
We are here. We are continuing Fiendship is Friendship February, and we're here to discuss the 5 stories that actually make up the whole reason why we're even doing this. The villain stories. I remember last year when this first came out, because I believe the way they did this is they did this the same way they did the Gem box set at the end of the month in February, like the last week in February last year. Mm-hmm. They did instead of, like, the Gem box sets are 1 issue, 5 or 6 different covers. This, they did all 5 issues in 1 box set that you could buy for $25 for the print. But yep, Fiendship is Friendship, or Fiendship is Magic, or whatever the hell we're calling it. I don't even know.
Even my knowledge of the Empire is limited. But what I do know is that it contains a powerful magic. 1,000 years ago, King Sombra, a unicorn whose heart was black as night, took over the Crystal Empire.
So we're here to review what really kicked off this whole thing, the whole planning of Fiendship is Friendship February, and that's the villain one-shot.
Woohoo! For
Fiendship is Magic. We have 5 different stories here. We have Sombra, Tarek, the Sirens, Nightmare Moon, and Queen Chrysalis. Oh.
All some of my favorites.
All of them are your favorites? You don't have one favorite over the...
Well, I do love the bad
Well,
guys.
yeah, I know, but... Alright, so on the creative side, Sombra is written by Jeremy Whitley, with art by Brenda Hickey. Ugh, how unfortunate last name for her.
Or it's a great name. I just think of My Name is Earl.
Oh, Lord.
His name is...
Yeah. Oh, boy. We have Turek is written by Christina Rice with art by Tony Fleeks. The Sirens is written by Ted Anderson with art and colors by Agnes Garbowska. Let's see. Nightmare Moon is done by Heather Nuffer with art by Tony again. And Queen Chrysalis is done by Katie Cook with Andy Price on art. Colors are done by Heather Breckel. Letters by Neil. You can say that.
Oh, let me check out the names.
Yukatai. And of course, the series edits are done by Bobby Curnow. Now.
Yeah, Yukatai. Yeah. Or Yukatake?
I don't know. It's like, oh my. All right, so the last time we did this, when we did the one shots, I knew some of the good characters. Obviously, I know the main 6 because I've seen the first season of the show. But all the other characters I had only heard of outside of Spike. I had heard of in passing and that kind of stuff. These villains I have never seen outside of Nightmare Moon, which you've told me about a little bit, but the other ones,
you didn't do your homework that it gave you then.
Wait, oh no, yeah, no. No, I failed that test. Absolutely, yeah, no. I cannot.
T-Rex is the very, 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 very first villain of My Little Pony.
I just can't. Just can't go back and watch that old 80s.
Oh, it's so good. I watched it again after I told you about it.
Oh, Lord. So in this instance, Nicole is pretty much the expert, even though she says in the last couple episodes that she's not. But in this instance, she is.
But
yes, you are. So we start off with Sombra here. The opening to this, at first I didn't quite get it, Because I'm like, what are they doing? And who the hell is her sister anyway? Like,
You really need to watch the show.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Oh, okay, so Cadence is actually... Princess Cadence is actually her sister-in-law. She's married to Shining Armor, who is her brother. It's her brother.
Okay.
So, and of course, just like Twilight, she was a student underneath Celestia, and she is in charge of the Crystal Kingdom, which, you know, all the ponies are extra shiny. You know, everything is just, yeah.
Yeah. So they're going down into the basement.
Basically, a hidden basement.
Yeah. And they find Sombra's hidden chamber, and he's got all kinds of stuff around it, and Twilight is so excited to find all this, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so in need of an office like this." Well, except for the busts of myself.
I love it too. It's so cool.
The art in this is awesome. The art in all the pony books to this point is really awesome.
Oh yeah, it's really fun.
Yep, absolutely. So we get to this office, and then we learn of the story of Sombra. And after reading the story, I made a comment in my notes, and I'm like, "Oh, it's a Hollywood story. It's and I don't mean this to be mean about the story itself, but it's that generic plot line of best friend, you know, two people who are best friends become enemies, and yada yada yada, and good versus evil and all that." And,
yeah, I was a sucker for it. I liked it.
No, I like the story. I'm just saying the use of that plot device is not something that's a new thing, and obviously that plot device is going to be used over and over and over again for various things in various mediums, but I don't know. I was somehow with these villain stories, I was expecting a lot more than what I got.
It's just their origin stories.
Some of yeah. So they read about Sombra's origin, and then we actually get into the origin here. And he kind of reminds me of in the panel where he says, "But I was a quick learner" when he's in school. The shot of him there almost reminds me of Discord. Just a little bit in the way he's colored and the way his paint is and that kind of stuff.
He looks so cute. I think he's adorable.
Yeah, until he goes all evil later.
It doesn't matter. He's still adorable.
Yeah, that's right. You like the evil people.
I do.
And I noticed this earlier, but I didn't take a note of it, but I'm noticing it now as we're going back through this. I'm like, hey, he's an evil Rudolph is what he is. Nobody will let him play in any reindeer pony games. Yeah.
You want to know something? Maybe Rudolph was evil. We only got one side of that story.
Oh, stop it. He saved the day with his, fire engine nose.
According to Family Guy, it's cancer.
Ew. Well, yeah, Seth MacFarlane. So we have Sombra meeting Radiant Hope, and they become best friends because they're both weird. Oh God!
I think she's so adorable too.
Think of who is your weirdest male friend?
Who is my weirdest male friend?
Yeah.
In what way weird?
The way you're weird.
Well, I'm weird in a lot of different ways.
In general.
My weirdest male friend. I'll say it. Mikey O'Sullivan. You know Mikey from movies.
Yes, I know who Mikey is. Yeah,
he's fairly odd.
We've talked about him before. So, for the purposes of this story, you're Radiant and he's Sombra.
Mikey is quite evil.
Well, I guess if the hoof fits.
There's a lot of weird people, though. It's kind of hard to narrow it down.
So the two weirdos become best friends. They do, the same thing all of us did with our friends, created own languages in middle school and high school and all that stuff. And throughout the story, they say that years and years and years pass as they're growing up and everything else. And one of Sombra's biggest things he wants to do is he wants to see the Crystal Fair. And he never gets to go because every year he gets sick. They go see the Crystal Heart, and I keep wanting to call her Rainbow. Radiant Hope sees that she's going to become this princess, and Sombra sees that he's basically going to become a villain. It's nothing but shadows all around him.
I really love that panel, how it's divided it up.
That panel is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, because the coolest thing is, as the viewers here with the panel, it's the hearts in the center and it's them on either side is what they're going to grow up to be. But then, you look down at the bottom part of the panel and it's them looking at us, the audience. Even, it's kind of like a reflective thing. And it's really, really cool. And Princess Amor, basically the true evil of the whole story.
Oh, really. Man.
Well, she didn't tell him. I mean, come on. This whole thing of, I've always believed that we have the power to control our futures. Oh, God. Insert Doc Brown here, folks, first. Your future is whatever you make of it, so make it a good one. The both of you. Oh, boy.
Come on, it's a good lesson for everyone to have.
Yeah, it is. I do like the way that he is narrating this, like in between.
Oh, Sombra?
Yeah, I do really enjoy the narration. I thought that was really, really cool. We get to the point where it's the day of the Crystal Fair, and Radiant bursts into his room and basically scares the crap out of him. Yeah, I'm sure you do that to your friends all the time.
Oh, I try to.
So, she's all excited. He's all worried because of his old destiny thing and everything else.
I don't blame him, though.
No, I know. I'm not trying to.
You're this fun little kid, and you're growing up to be some kind of evil. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Blame him?
No, I don't blame him at all, and I'm not trying to sound cruel about it, saying, "Oh, well, he's just." I'm not trying to sound like that, even though I'm probably sounding like that. But he basically is immobilized. He basically becomes sick because of the Crystal Fair. And this goes on for years and years and years because he wants to see it. Mm. Every year he wants to be able to see it, and every year he just can't.
And I love how they actually show them growing. You can actually tell the stage of life that he's in each panel. They did a great job with the artwork.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because in the first time that it happens to him, they're still both very young, and then as it progresses. Because at first they're like, oh, it only got worse through the day. Not only could I not see the Crystal Fair, I feel as weak as I had ever felt in my whole life. And that was when they were still young. And then, we go to the next year, and then years and years and years pass, and you basically see them growing up. It's almost like it's a slow... okay, in movies you have, usually when you see, someone as a kid and then, 20 years pass, it's just like a screen fade or something. Mm-hmm. Like The Lion King. I mean, obviously that was the progression like this is, because you see Simba go, after he runs away, you see him when he's with Timon and Pumbaa growing up and going through the whole stages, and that's kind of what this is like a little bit. Except Sombra will eventually become evil. I do love the art about the whole shadows, his mane, all that stuff, where Radiant asks him, Sombra, what's happening? I don't know. I'm not controlling it. He basically looks like Venom is taking him over.
It does. This panel is really creepy, and I love it.
The creepiest part about it is the final thing on the right-hand side, the giant part of the splash page. It felt like nothing I'd ever known. I was leaving the weak Sombra behind. Fucking hell. 13:55:56. Damn it. I hate editing. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Stupid friggin'. Alright. 14:04, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. So this giant panel that we're talking about here, on the right-hand side, it's where he says, I feel like nothing... it felt like nothing I'd ever known, like I was leaving the weak Sombra behind. The image of him with the Venom stuff all over him, it looks like he's... it doesn't look like he's as young as he is in the other two panels that are on this page here.
He's kind of like shattering.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of understandable. When you see someone that has suffered through a lot of pain, they all look a lot older too, so that's kind of understandable.
Yeah. But it's funny because he says in the story it was a transformation. It was a moment of becoming what you're supposed to be. A moment of pure destiny. It just wasn't mine. And then all of a sudden, it's Radiant's destiny. And I'm like, wait, what? Because it doesn't show her. Like, it shows her... Oh,
she's trying to heal him. She's trying to save him from this... This whole whatever is going through, this... Oh, I feel sorry for him. It just looks very painful.
Yeah, I do too. I absolutely feel sorry for him. I think the only reason why I was kind of confused at first is because all this stuff was happening to him, and the first, like on the giant splash page, it doesn't look like she's doing anything until the next page where she is doing something, and she does get her cutie mark.
Well, at the very bottom, she's helping him. The splash page.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is. She's using her magic to get him in the bubble.
Yeah, not in the page that she's not in the big one I was just talking about though, where the Venom stuff is all around him. The next page, yes, she is. She is helping him, but on the page previous to that, it didn't look like she was.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
So she's going to become a healer. Is that a young... That can't be a young Twilight.
No.
Oh, because Twilight's purple. The page where I knew that meant something, but, I was like, wait a minute.
No, that's just a little filly.
Mm-hmm. So basically, this is the part where the friendship kind of goes south. She gets a letter from the two sisters, and they wanted her to come study with them. That meant that they thought she had the potential to become a princess, which meant the only thing I wanted to do was run.
Poor guy.
Nope. Run, Forrest, run! And then we have him out in the middle of the snow and the night and whatever else and this dark crystal. Yeah. Starts talking to him.
That's like the one thing that really creeped me out when I was younger.
Yeah. This dark crystal starts talking to him and back and forth and gives him his true power. And then he becomes the villain he was supposed to become.
You can't hide from your destiny.
Apparently not. Apparently not. I really do dig this story. I think the story in itself is really, really cool. I don't know. Like I said, at the end of it, I wasn't left with an anticlimactic feel at all. It just felt like, oh, but of course, that plotline. But no, the characters are very endearing. Both of them are.
Well, see, you've got to read the rest of the comics because these villains do show up. So this is kind of like, you know how horrible they were in the comics or the TV show. And you're just like, what made us so bad at the world, you know? So this is kind of like where you're like, it's kind of like Maleficent, the new. You're like, why was she so pissed off?
Well, I mean, I understand the whole thing with Sombra and why he got so pissed at Princess Amor and then, you know, his true evil, really. I understand all that. I get all that. And I get, you know, why he's being cruel to Radiant and everything else. And I'm just saying that I've repeated myself so many times with this today, but, you know, so far anyway, the whole thing with the best friends becoming enemies, it's like, that's you could throw 6 different stones and skip them across water, you'd hit at least 3 different things with that storyline. I
don't know. I really loved it. I think this story works out great.
It does. It absolutely does. And, you know, he becomes king of the monsters. I think Ozzy might have to have something to say about that. I don't think Sombra bit any bats' heads off yet, so...
I don't know.
I don't know. And they kind of leave, most of these stories leave, they don't really wrap it up very well.
Well, see, that's because...
I'm not saying that it's not done well, I'm saying that these aren't stories that have a definitive ending yet.
No, because you gotta go read the rest of the comics.
I know, that's what we're doing here, I'm working on it. Yeesh.
I'm working on it here.
I'm working over here. Go away. So long live the king is how that one ends. What did you think overall of Sombra?
I really enjoyed it. I love the growing up story. I think they were so cute, especially when he got sick the very first time, and you could just tell that Radiant was just so worried for him. And I love that page where she's just in the hospital with him, comforting him. It's so cute. And I love how they did progress. They showed the different ages of him. I really thought that was really well done. And then his transformation, that splash page, is just amazing.
Yeah, it really, really is. Up next we have, according to Nicole, the baddest villain of them all.
I love Tyrek.
We have Tyrek. One thing I was not expecting to see in this, I don't know why I wasn't expecting to see centaurs.
Oh,
it's just one thing.
See, you need to go back and watch.
I know. Quit nagging me. Jesus.
He also's in the new show too, so.
Yeah. What season does he show up in? 2, 3, 4, 7?
I believe it's 3.
Okay. Cool. Basically, this story is father versus son, expectations, all that, and wanting to find. Basically, it's Tyrek's quest for power, essentially.
And I was so shocked when I found out that him and Scorpion were brothers. Like, what? Okay.
Why were you shocked about that?
Because they're in their very first episode. Heart of Darkness. Well, basically, his Scorpion goes out and kidnaps all the little ponies to have Tyrek turn them into dragons.
Okay.
So Scorpion does some of his dirty work, and his little pet is Spike.
Wait, Spike was Scorpion's at first?
Uh-huh.
So Spike was originally evil?
Well, he was... I guess so, yeah. Spike never wanted to be evil. He was just with the evil people.
Oh.
You really need to go back and watch it.
I'm trying to take the comics on their own accord here, people.
I know. I'm just saying.
So, Tyrek goes to the evil sorcerer, because there always has to be an evil sorcerer who says, "Who goes there?"
Little Gandalf.
Why do what? Yeah, Gandalf or Emperor Palpatine, Emperor Horsatine or whatever. I don't know. Now, was Scorpan originally this wimpy and whiny?
No, but he was a lot older.
Oh, okay, well there you go.
He's just a little kid in this, basically.
Yeah. And
if you watch the cartoon, you would recognize the little bag around his neck.
Around Scorpan's neck?
T-Rex.
Oh, okay, let's see. Some sort of jewel or something, probably.
That's where he keeps the Heart of Darkness.
Okay. Yeah, that was not a Transformer story that anyone really cared for.
Rainbow of Darkness, sorry. Not Heart of Darkness.
I was going to say,
Rainbow
wait a
second.
Darkness. So, now that I've made the Star Wars allusion here, yeah, this is pretty much Luke Skywalker almost turning into Darth Vader, or gonna turn into Darth Vader pretty much.
I can see that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they capture a unicorn, or the old man captures a unicorn, and I never really I don't know what I expect. Folks, I really don't know what the hell to expect out of the pony stuff sometimes. Like, I was not expecting this unicorn to be a male.
They've got... That's pretty sexist of you, man. How do you think they get little unicorns if there's only females?
Guess that horn's good for something. Wow. It's a good thing this show has an explicit tag on it.
I blame Amy for that. That's okay.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, yeah, she does have her moments. After all, she is whirling around the universe with her one eye and claw hand, and oh boy. And this thing even, now that I'm going back and just kind of glancing at it, not because, how I do this, folks, and I've explained this before, I will, either 20 minutes or an hour beforehand or a day beforehand, sometimes only an hour beforehand, I'll read these and I'll make my notes and whatever else, but it's not until I go back and after I've made a reference to something like Star Wars, when it's like, when I see Sendak saying, "Your emotions betray you," and I'm like, okay, yeah, that is so Palpatine. And basically, Tyrek wants to control the unicorn magic, but he's too young. And the castle bells sound. They have to go back to the castle. And I really think this is a reverse of the Lion... Oh, God, there's so many references in this, folks, that I'm pulling out. It's a reverse of the Lion King. This is essentially a young Scar. I mean...
Yeah, I can see that.
So we see their parents, and they want to punish him for going to the Netherlands, or the Nether regions, or Nether... I don't know, whatever. And, like I said, this part here between the king and the queen and the prince and all that, it's your standard family squabble.
Yeah, I mean, you got the rebel teenager bringing his younger sibling into something. The parents are just worried because, maybe once in a while, it's okay to, like, misstep, but it sounds like T-Rex been doing it a long time, many times, and so... he's starting to get his really rebellious stage.
Maybe he should be called Junior because he's a problem child.
Oh, God.
Where's the bow tie killer when you really need him, right? I really do, once again, I don't think I will ever at this point, and I could be wrong and I might have to retract this, I don't think I'm ever going to really have a really bad problem or really nagging or nitpicky problem with the art, because all of these artists are kicking ass on this.
It's beautiful. The king and queen look great.
Yeah, they do.
And I love all the detail they took with like the endorments and the accessories that they have.
The king, if he was a dog, he'd be Max, and I'd be like, "Where's the Grinch?" Because he's got the antlers on his head. Yeah. Oh God! In the close-up panel where they're like, "So you finally decided to grace us with your presence? It appears so." The king looks like a really, really old, red-faced King Randor, He-Man's dad.
Yeah. T-Rex He-Man.
That's kind of scary when you think about it. So, that night, Tarek goes to get his power because he wants it, pretty much. Not knowing that he can't... Well, he knows he can't control it because Sendak told him, but damn kids, they never listen.
Yep, exactly.
So, he puts some sort of sleeping spell on Sendak, and he basically traps him in there. He gets the unicorn and tries to harness the magic, and that doesn't work because he's huffing and puffing, blowing the house down. Yeah, he fails big time because he can't control it. The old man. Is the old man blind? Because every time Tarek is either in there or coming in there, what? Tarek, is that you?
He's just a typical old man. I mean, he might have some sight, but it's probably not so good.
Yep. So he wants him to set him free, but he's not going to, and they have this really awesome splash page between the unicorn and Tarek.
Oh, that's so cool.
A giant explosion of power and rage, and Sendak is trapped. And does this mean he's still trapped in the spell, or does this mean that he's trapped in his own house?
Yeah, I think he's just trapped under the spell.
Okay, because it doesn't show, like, in the previous panels when Tarek put him under the spell, it shows him as a bright pink piece of fluff.
Yeah, because this is what I'm thinking. It's because Tarek knows this spell, and he's concentrating, and he's able to concentrate to get, to keep him under. But if you notice, when he's in that big fight with the unicorn, he loses his concentration, and that spell is broken.
Oh, I see why he says he's trapped, is because he's physically trapped. The thing's on his leg.
Oh yeah, that's.
Because the spell wore off. That's why I'm like, how is he still trapped? Oh, that's why I said he can't get out. So, Tarek basically abandons Sendak. Basically acts as if he never went anywhere. Yeah. Lies to the little brother. And like the young, impressionable child the brother is, of course, he believes him.
I gotta ask you something. You notice something in the one panel when Tarek's running away?
When he's running away, let me see.
The third panel, it says, "Get back here."
Uh-huh.
Did you...
Let's see. No.
Did you notice the goblins from the trade that we just reviewed?
Oh. Hey, what are they doing there?
Because they're troublemakers.
Yeah, I didn't notice them at first because they're not. Oh, I see.
They're in the clouds.
Sendak is trapped in the. Okay, yeah. Okay, see, I get but that's. Huh. Wait, so they're still So this. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I almost wish there was something that they said, or like some little snarky remark.
I think they're kind of like the Watchers. They're just there to make sure everything chaotic goes their way.
Mm-hmm. So we get back to the castle. The king goes off on Tarek, an equestrian unicorn brought here against his will. Is that crazy old beast trying to start a war? So, apparently the ponies and the centaurs don't get along.
They're just in different areas of the valley, I guess. Or
so basically,
so you got they're like kind of like the Outlanders.
Yeah, that. And I want to almost compare it to King Arthur, because King Arthur and Mordred, or Mordor, or whatever the evil son's name is, but it's basically the king here is Arthur and his kid is Lancelot.
Oh, there you go.
Constantly screwing up. We will need to do immediate damage control with Celestia.
Yeah.
Lord. I find it funny that none of the good people actually show up in this. I mean, I know it's Tarek's story, and I know that's the center of it, but, like, they make mention of Celestia, and you'd think that there would, like, if an explosion like that happened in Equestria, that, you know, somehow...
Well, because this is his kingdom, so he's going to have to take control of it. But the thing is, there's a pony that has been kidnapped, so that's why he's going to have to go to Celestia.
Yeah. So Tarek is like, basically the story ends here with Tarek is like, "You're right, dear father. One day I will overpower you. I will take this land for myself, and once that is done, it is I who will journey to Equestria and do what the elder could not. One day I will be an indomitable force."
Woohoo! And that's true.
Mm-hmm. And then we travel with what's his name? Gulliver to the Sirens. But before we get to the Sirens, because the Sirens is actually a fun... I mean, they're all fun little stories, but the Siren story is not exactly really super dark and take over the world sinister. As far as Tarek's story goes, overall thoughts?
I love knowing his background story. I love knowing that him and Scorpion are brothers. And I love, like, the little thing, like the bag around his neck. I want to keep on thinking that he has the Rainbow of Darkness all the time with him. That's really cool. And I kind of like, so where did he get this? Yeah. So I love this background story just because this was he was like one of my favorite characters growing up. He was so mean and evil. And so to get a background story of him is great.
Take giant robots over old ponies any day.
Oh my gosh, I just noticed Discord. What the heck?
Wait, where?
Yeah. Oh my gosh!
Wait,
okay.
Where?
Okay, second to last page, very top panel. Okay, an equestrian unicorn brought here against his will. He's on the very left-hand side.
Go back here. Oh yeah, he is there. What's he doing there?
He's causing a commotion, probably. Him and the little two goblins.
Oh, they're all there.
Uh-huh.
But wait, weren't they just in the clouds?
That was last night.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, cool. Oh my gosh.
Discord.
They did a great job. I didn't even notice that. I never read this.
I didn't notice it at all either.
Splash page too. Why did I know this? I think I was just so concentrated on Tarek.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is very, very cool.
Oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I didn't notice that. What about you?
No, I liked it. I thought it was interesting. I don't have as much of a nitpicky problem with the overall story plot as far as the father's expectations for the son and all that. And yeah, it's a whiny emo teenager kind of thing and not caring and whatever else. But I've seen so many of those. I'm kind of immune to them at this point. And I guess I should be immune to the best friends becoming enemies thing. But I don't know. I think I've seen too much of that. It's been a while since I've seen the whole whatever. But we get to the sirens, and we basically go to American Idol and then The Voice people. Essentially, this is what this is. This is a commentary on musical competition shows on television, really. The only thing I wish that this story, when they eventually get to the Canterlot musical competition, was that the ponies that were the judges actually looked like Simon, Paula, and Randy.
It's some way they kind of do, I guess.
Well, the mean one does sound like I heard Simon Cowell's voice in my head the whole time I'm reading the mean one stuff, but yeah. So we start off Once Upon a Time in the Land of Equestria.
I think it's more, the judges more look like America's Got Talent.
Howard Stern and Howie Mandel, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Oh, boy. And we have 3 sirens, Blaze, Dazzle, and Dusk.
Well, that's their last names.
Yes, because I am not sitting here pronouncing some of their first names.
Oh, because they're all musical terms. Aria, Adagio, and Sonata.
Mm-hmm. To me, they look like half dragon, half seahorses.
That's what they're supposed to be.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Supposed to be evil sea ponies.
But shouldn't they be trying to rule the sea, not the land?
Well, they're trying to take over,
Where's the aqua pony when you really need them? So these are all sirens, and they, assume that they're the best singers of all time. They eventually take their act to Canterlot.
The big time. They're going to Canterlot.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking it to Broadway.
Yep. I do love the panel where it's all 3 of their faces, where it says, "Soon we'll have all of Equestria at our command," and it all begins.
I know, I like that.
In Canterlot.
Canterlot.
But I love that panel. I love the art on that panel with how each of them are defined and all that. I think that's cool. I don't see any guest cameos here.
No, that gotta be. I usually look for the background. I cannot believe I missed Discord. Out of all creatures, I can't believe I missed Discord.
So they've hit the big time, and the funniest thing to me in this whole story is some of the references. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread. This will be a feast of a lifetime. Now, where to begin? What's sliced bread? They invented it just last week.
There's some really, really fun little lines here.
Yeah. So they see the music competition poster, and they're going to enter, and hence the William Hung American Idol type stuff starts. And they see all the different musicians working on, actually using instruments, and they go up to sign up for the thing, and they tell the pony behind the table there, the Sirens with 2 S's.
I know. And
the Sirens. Oh, I didn't notice this before. There are actual ponies behind the X's.
Yeah.
I just thought it was, your random, but I guess Equestria doesn't have a lot of technologically savvy things at this point.
Well, they have unicorns, so they don't need tech.
Okay.
That's my excuse.
Okay. So we have them singing, and all 4 judges are, and you're right, it's probably more America's Got Talent with the judges because of the X's and because there's 4 of them and not 3. I still think the male judge that says, that's it, that's your music, blah, blah, blah. Come back when you find yourself some talent. Next.
Oh, the look on their faces is golden.
Oh, God, yeah. What a bunch of rubes. I have never heard such pitiful music. I have. Just listen to Adele.
I like Adele.
I'm sorry. Hello is the worst song in the world.
You want to know something?
Right now.
I've only heard that song 3 times all the way through, so that's why I still like it.
I change the station every time because that's my choice. But so they basically get dejected and go back to the hotel, and they want to basically change, and one of them says, well, it's always worked, why change what works? Which is something I have that thought a lot. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
But it doesn't work for this competition. That's the thing.
Right.
They're trying to suck the souls and the life out of these people. And these people are very, well, I'm pretty sure everyone in the audience is very uppity with their music and stuff. So they do need to change so they can
get... Oh, yeah, absolutely. So they change, and we hear one of them chewing and chewing and chewing, and then puff, 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 and pop, and Sonata, what are you eating? It's this stuff called gum. It's like food you don't eat. It's just hilarious.
I love it.
That's it. Yeep. Pop is the answer. Our new music shall be pop. And the first, pop music sounds dangerous. Hey, 'tis the solution to our dilemma. The first thing I wrote down in my notes
are you going to
for
this Jackson reference?
I'm like, no. I'm like, bubblegum pop. Oh, hell no. I can't believe they did that. So let's see here. We get, so they're working and working all night. They go back and, for Celestia's sake, not you 3 again. You get enough yesterday. So they changed their, we've improved the act, and they start singing, and basically everybody loves it, and that starts feeding their dark heart gem things, and they basically have a feast.
Yep. Yay. They're full of life now.
Yep.
They've got zombified audience and everything. Except for Star Swirl, the bearded.
Yeah.
Who Twilight Sparkle loves.
All I can think of when you said zombified audience is like, zombie bad guy. So all I can think of is Wreck-It Ralph. Star Swirl, the bearded, he's basically the Merlin of the story.
Twilight Sparkle dressed up as him for Halloween.
Did she really? Was it on the show or in the comic?
I believe it's both, if I remember right.
Huh. That's interesting. Wouldn't really think that she would be...
Because he's the best wizard of all time. Of course, she's going to dress up as Star Swirl.
So we have the Music Wars.
I love this. This is so cool.
I don't know how they did this. I really have no idea. Like, oh God, the artist on this is just amazing, because that splash page. Remember we were talking about last time about how one of the splash pages turned into a peace sign?
Uh-huh.
So it started going in, and then it pulled out on the guided view to reveal that it was a peace sign. This starts with the giant splash page, and then it goes to each of the 4, corners, and showing you, like, there were 29 different music styles that started because of this, and there was this, and there was this, and there was this, and
I love it.
the only thing I was waiting for was some sort of Coolio pony to come along with Gangsta's Paradise.
Well, they really don't have gangster rap, but
I know.
I love the whole Destiny's Child Beyonce look that the sirens have got.
Yeah.
And of course the hair band of Star Swirl.
Entirely new instruments were designed. The two-handed two oh God, what the
Oops.
You're the music major. What the hell's that? The two
double bass.
That's then they even do the barbershop quartet, even though it's a trio.
Oh, that's true. I'm like, that's right.
And Star Swirl could not defeat them. So he basically warps them to another world, and thus enter the Sirens as Equestria Girls.
Yep. So this is where you go and watch Rainbow Rocks.
Oh no.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Is it separate from the series?
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of the overall brand of the My Little Pony cartoon, but it's not like.
Yeah, it's they had Equestria Girls, and then they had the second movie called Rainbow Rocks, where the Sirens took over.
So there's a little bit of magic left in their pendants. Overall, I thought the Siren story was really fun and funny.
I think it's really a lot of fun. The whole music, how music changed because of them and their little war. And I love that he did say pizzazz. I'm like, it's Jim and the Misfits.
Yeah. Oh no! Wait, what? Jim and the Misfits? No.
Jim and the Holograms, and then the Misfits.
Oh. Jim's better.
No.
Yep.
Misfit songs are better. Even says so.
Nope. All right. Overall thoughts on any other thoughts on Sirens?
No, it's just fun. I do like how they have intertwined it with Rainbow Rocks. I really do like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. Up next, second to last story here, we have Nightmare Moon, aka Princess Luna.
Mm-hmm. Pre-Luna.
I almost felt. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I almost felt that we should have read this before we read the Luna story.
Yeah.
When I saw the title of the story, I'm like, hey, where's Michael Keaton? Where's Christopher Lloyd? The Dream Team. God, I love that movie. Oh, boy. So we have a giant pop because Nightmare ends up on the moon, quite literally.
She got kicked there. Boom.
Yeah, she got banished. A shot of her where she says, sigh, home sweet home. There has to be something to do on this rock. First thing I thought of was Scratchy on the moon right before Itchy blew him up at the beginning of the Simpsons movie.
Forgot about that, jeez.
Mooney's ruling, not a bad place to start. I do like the design of Nightmare Moon. I think that's really,
I love her. Her design is probably my favorite of all the ponies. Love her design, her helmet and everything.
Hey, look, the Gremlins are there again too, aren't they? One of them.
Yeah, one of them.
Jeez.
See, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Yep. So this story is basically Nightmare Moon goes into the dream thing, and then the
dreamland where these like little minions take over and give ponies their dreams every night.
I know this is My Little Pony, folks, but she said minions. All I can think of is Kevin Stewart and Bob, and oh god, that's all I can think of. Like, I can just see all Gru's minions up in this place, basically making everybody dream of butts.
The minions would be great for Nightmare.
Yeah, they would. So apparently these dream creatures
Dream
have never
warriors.
seen a.
Don't check it.
Good Lord. They've apparently never seen a pony in real life before. They've only seen them in their dreams. And the basic gist of the story is that she wants to get into Celestia's dream.
Yeah.
She wants to be able to corrupt Celestia and basically destroy her spirit. And this whole thing reminds me like the one little elf who's like, I'll show you. Mm-hmm. Darn, you know that's not a lot. Like, it's like, oh my god, it's like Santa and his elves.
I like the one that actually ends up helping her. She wants to do it. She'll do anything she says as long as she gets to play with her mane. Oh.
I do like how she kind of basically makes up her own name, Man on the Moon. I do kind of like that because it's like, where's Jim Carrey when you need him? Man on the Moon.
That movie's
boy. Yeah. And I just realized that the elder is named Gaiman. Mm-hmm. Wow. What a Sandman. So this little one basically just wants to be her friend, and obviously Nightmare Moon's going to use that against them. I do, like I said when we did the Luna review, I've always liked, since reading that, I always like her her attitude, whether she's Luna or whether she's Nightmare. So the Knicks are essential. That's unfortunate. So we bring up Celestia's dream, and she can't get into Celestia's dream, so she then basically is going to infect all the ponies in Equestria, because this will have
a bigger effect than just affecting Celestia.
Well, basically it's an overall big effect to affect Celestia, because Celestia has to basically protect and stop all of this, which is then going to make her mind susceptible. So, in the grand scheme of things, the ass-backwards plan kind of works. Wait. All I have to do... Oh. I like this. Where Nightmare is narrating, I'll change what all of you think of Celestia and me. You'll beg for me to rule you. All I have to do is plant one little seed and the word will spread. Like reviews of good shampoo.
I love that. That's so funny.
Do people really write shampoo? I mean, I know there's a lot of people on the internet that write or do video reviews of various, things. I can't think of, like...
I actually just did some research on shampoo and looked at reviews. So, yeah.
Okay.
Because, I'm looking for shampoo that helps with chlorine, So, of course, I was going to look for...
Stay out of the pool, then.
I love the pool.
Wait, isn't it snowing out there? Anyway.
Indoor pool at the rec center.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as it's an indoor pool. Just don't dye your hair red and then go swimming.
But...
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
I do. So every pony is, it's spreading like wildfire, and basically the whole village is burning down. Celestia is kind of disappointed. She didn't realize. She knew she was that devious, but she didn't think she would stoop to this low. And Princess Celestia basically saves the day, which then makes her, like I said, susceptible to the stuff. And Nightmare Moon basically turns on the little Nyx character. It's like, friends, you were a pawn, a pretty useless one at that.
Aww. God.
I think I like the Luna personality better. I mean, yeah, Luna, because in the Luna story, it's more endearing for what she's going through.
Oh yeah, well, Luna just learned her lesson.
Yeah. And I think the only thing that the next character can say to her in cough cough, I hope your tail gets frizzy. So Nightmare goes to oh god, I gotta see if I can find that audio. She gets into the dreams here. She gets into Celestia's head here. Sheesh, sunshine and lollipops much. Time to redecorate. Reminds me of the Bugs Bunny episode where Bugs has to the short where Bugs goes into Elmer's head.
Oh, okay.
What I repeat, what a serene scene. And Bugs comes in and starts doing all this, repaint and redecorate, and he ends up at this little adding machine or typewriter, and all these little imaginary rabbits are coming out, and he's like, "Look, I'm multiplying. That's kind of what this reminds me of.
I thought when you're talking about an audio clip, I thought you were talking about something else that's coming up.
So
when she's like at the pool, at the dark pool.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which one I'm talking about?
Yeah. So Celestia comes in. They have a really nice battle. That's what is great about this issue. This art is the two of them battling, where Celestia is like, this is your only warning. Oh dear, whatever shall I do? The princess's friends are terrified. Pity. I'm not going anywhere, doll. Now you're speaking my language, and they just have this huge knockdown, drag out, magical battle.
Love it.
Yeah, it is just so, and the colors. Oh my god!
The colors just come right off the page.
The colors for the backgrounds, the colors for both of them. I mean, if you look at this, when they start, you have Celestia on the right and Nightmare Moon on the left, where Nightmare Moon says, "Oh dear, whatever shall I do?" It's got like dark blue clouds with a bright blue background in the center there, and then it's got Celestia's kind of orangey power star thing with like a purplish grayish cloud. And then as they both activate their magic powers, the horns glow and the sky turns red and fire and brimstone rain down.
I love it.
It's just...
Did you notice the goblins are back?
Yeah, I did notice it that
I gotta go back to Sombra and try to find them now, because they've been in every other.
Yeah, they have.
Story, so.
So we actually see what I assume. Okay, so Nightmare Moon is obviously a fully grown adult pony. When we see Luna almost looks like a younger pony.
Yeah, because if you actually watched the first couple episodes of the new show, right?
I watched the whole first season.
Okay, because basically Celestia put her as a younger self so she could learn.
Okay.
Again, so
okay.
Put her back in a stage, like the learning stages of life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then Celestia really, Nightmare Moon basically undoes her own, basically seals her own fate here. You have no power, Celestia. You can't even help the one you love the most. Love. It's all about the power of love, people.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Huey Lewis in the news. And that's basically how she defeated her. Basically saved everybody. And she basically goes back to the little people. They said, "We vow to protect you, ponies. We will not allow her to change you as she did to us. Sleep tight, my old friend. I'll see you in your dreams." There, a little help here. Mistress, the connection to Princess Celestia is broken. I have no more use for you.
Ooh.
But we can still influence dreams. You can still create nightmares for the rest of the ponies. Oh, dear ones, my sentence on your little rock just got a lot more interesting. Not the end.
For now.
Yeah, for now. I like this. I thought it was really cool. I think this might be the best out of the 5 for the art that I really, really dig, because it's really, really shiny on both ends when she and Celestia are fighting.
And I love the dark tones too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. The blacks and the purples and all that stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
the colorist, who's doing the coloring? Do you remember?
I think it's Heather Breckel on most of them.
Okay, Heather does. Let me go check it out. Yes, colors by Heather Breckel. Great job, man. God, such wonderful work.
Absolutely. And finally up today we have issue number 5, Queen Chrysalis, which all the regular covers are done by Amy Memerson. And like I've been saying for the last year or so since we've been doing the gem stuff, I love Amy's work.
I know. Amy is an amazing artist. Amazing. Love her.
Yeah. Absolutely. And this one is pretty much it's pretty much an episode of Prison Break. It's pretty much what this is.
Okay.
The many tales of Queen Chrysalis. Warning, do not approach. Keep away at 200 yards. Penitentiary. This place still gives me the willies. Could be because the last time we were here, it was to duke it out with one of the most evil villains in Equestria. I bet that has something to do with it. Now this is something I was not expecting.
Huh.
I was not expecting the core group to show up in any of these.
Oh, okay.
And they haven't until now, obviously.
Yeah.
And Twilight's like, we're just here to check in on Chrysalis and make sure her imprisonment is all going to plan. Plan?
Oh,
Twilight gets all excited. Oh, yes, I've mapped out her entire 1,000-year punishment to the minute. Ooh, color-coordinated sticky notes. Very nice.
Rarity. No cake for 1,000 years. That's just cruel.
There's Pinkie.
Yeah.
The only thing that I question here is why is there a giant Pinkie Pie guarding the door? A giant plush Pinkie Pie. Hi, me.
Because in the previous comics, they've had them as disguises.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
There's a Rainbow Dash one too.
Ah, okay. I think Twilight's enchantment is wearing off. It might be time to put that old costume out to pasture. I will give you all my worldly possessions to take that pink monstrosity away and burn it. Hey, this is a quality piece of apparel.
Oh, Pinkie, honey.
Oh, boy. So they all look in there, and they all see Queen Chrysalis, and Twilight is yelling at the guard. She looks terrible. Are you following her approved diet on page 372? We are. She and her minions barely touch any of it. You should probably let her have some cake.
Yeah. I agree with Pinkie.
You can all go eat cake and go away and leave me alone. And yeah, I mean, it's like, oh my God, call animal control. Seriously. Chrysalis, like, this is the first time obviously, folks, a lot of this is my firsts on pony stuff, but this is the first time I've really seen the character, and outside of the...
She's in the very, very, very first arc of the comics. So,
okay.
And she's, oh man, she's a good villain. She did something in the first arc that I never thought I would see in any comic, and I was like, this woman is evil.
Is that Friends? Is that Friendship is Magic or Friends Forever?
Friendship is Magic.
Okay, yeah, we'll get to that next week.
Yeah. Like I said, she does something to a kitten, and it's just like, holy crap. That is, it's bad. It's bad. Mm-hmm. It's very bad.
Yep. The same reprobate that ruined Cloud City of Timbuktu. All I can think of is Rainbow Dash flying the Millennium Falcon through Cloud City.
I like how they spelled Timbuktu like bucking.
Yeah. Yep. So thus begins the flashbacks and the story times.
And I agree with Spike. Why is it always 1,000 years? What's the
yeah. And then later, doesn't he say something like, "Oh, good, 1,000 years"? I was worried there for a second.
Love Spike.
So we have this story showing Queen Chrysalis, and she's a pretty fugly pony, even when she's in top shape.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's
a changeling.
Yeah. So she's basically taking over, and they basically she attacks the head guard, and because, as you said, she's a changeling, she can change into whatever she touches, and calls for a retreat, and then she basically kicks King Orion out, and he ends up in the stars.
I love that story. Oh, that's really good. I really enjoyed that.
I love Rainbow Dash narrating, because it's not like I expect Twilight to narrate most of the time, because Twilight's the bookworm. I don't really expect it when the others do it.
But you gotta remember, Rainbow Dash is turning into a reader because of Daring Do.
Right. Okay. Well, there you go. And it looks like Chrysalis is kind of feeding off of the stories here a little bit. She says Orion was a fool, but oh, that city was tasty.
Ew. Frosting is tasty. Pegasus, not so tasty.
I like the bit about the stars. It adds something. Orion was an imbecile. The star bit makes him a legend. It's the goal of all of us to be remembered, after all. So we go through and we find out other stories about Queen Chrysalis. There's even a Trojan pony.
I love the Trojan pony.
Just like, why would they fall for that? Come on.
Because they're arrogant.
Well, that king is, yeah. So Chrysalis takes over that kingdom as well. And this whole time, Twilight keeps wondering about various things that she doesn't have in her books.
Oh yeah, and if Twilight's missing something, she's got to find it. Yeah.
And we find out as they're talking to Chrysalis through the little door here, through the prison door, about her minions and everything else, and she basically says, "I've sent them all into hibernation. There's no point in having them all awake and wasting energy when they can be resting. I may be a captive, but I still have my subjects to concern myself with." Well, that's surprisingly noble of you.
It really is. I mean, she cares about her little changelings.
Yep. We've been in prison before. This is not a new routine for us. After that Incitus debacle, Celestia had us bound inside of a volcano for countless years. Volcano? How neat was that? Hot. And then there's the volcano. Like, where the hell did Pinkie Pie get the volcano?
It's Pinkie Pie. She has.
I know, but
magical.
I know she. Well, okay, this.
Did you also? I also got to mention on the previous page, the soda that she's drinking.
Soda that Pinkie's drinking?
Yeah. On the previous page.
Let's see here. Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Like, what? She even. She has Coca-Cola. She has popcorn, and she has Hazelnuts, like raisin. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, because she's ready for a story.
Well, she's ready for a party because Pinkie's always ready for a party. But like seriously, they're ponies, folks.
But remember, Pinkie's is very special and unique. People don't understand Pinkie, and I love that about her.
I mean, I love Pinkie.
Like a Pinkie Pie party.
I mean, I love Pinkie. Don't get me wrong, but like, I'm sorry, pulling a volcano out of thin air that you won at the 3rd grade science fair. I mean, come on. Like, where does she keep that kind of stuff?
It's a cherry surprise volcano. It's food. That's why it's still around.
Pinkie Pie is about to break my brain, folks.
Oh, I love Pinkie Pie.
So we get another story here. Wait, is it a story or? His Rarity asks, are all the changelings in there with you? I could have sworn my date last week had been completely drained of all emotion, personality, everything. What do you mean? Oh, I see. It's a story.
It's a story within a story.
So yeah, we have Rarity on a date. He just blanked out for hours. I could have sworn that he's under some sort of changeling mind control thingy. Sure, that's why.
Because I love his cutie mark. Did you see his cutie mark?
Yes. It's just.
I love it.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Okay, so they then tell the story of the volcano. And we all know Fluttershy normally doesn't talk all that much, or what she does, she's very quiet and whatever else. She said some stuff in this, but she hasn't said much. And then we get to the volcano story when Chrysalis says, it all started with a dragon. Eep. She's talking about a dragon. There isn't one actually here. You never know.
Poor Spike is probably like, I'm a dragon.
Well, yeah, it's like... Well, Spike, he's like right up against the door. It's like, oh my god, she could just reach out and just bite his head off.
Probably.
So we find out about this volcano, which is an interesting tale. And Spike's like, hey, dragons love. Later, Spike.
I love the look of this dragon.
Yeah, that dragon is pretty bad.
That looks so cool.
You don't want to cross a donkey with that thing. Oh, boy. So Chrysalis basically tricks the dragon into showing her his scales. And of course it looks like she tricks him, but she doesn't. And he basically sets the volcano on fire. And he does eventually show his scales, and they basically rip him off of him.
Well, yeah, well, she takes one of her minions and throws him into one of his wings.
Yeah.
Javelin. That's so cool.
Once again, people, Drew's minions need to be in the Pony comics. I don't care what anyone says. I love the minions. Hey, this is hot. Ow, nitwit. He sure was a good plan. Maybe to throw me next time.
Was it talking about you?
What? He was fine, probably. So then they do something that you should know. It basically turns into a horror movie, folks. Pretty much. Chrysalis says, there's another thing that I don't have in here. Since you're being so open right now, can you tell me where are you from? We don't know anything about your origins. I could tell you that if what? It's so lonely in this place. I'd like the book that Rainbow,
The
the Rainbow one is reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the newest Daring Do book. Correct? I haven't read it. A book today, a reader. Tomorrow, a leader. I always say. And Twilight is basically like yoink. I'll buy you another one. Asking for a book is showing signs of true reform. But oh, it doesn't fit. Then you'll have to open the door.
See, this is where I'm like, Twilight, you gotta be smarter than this. You have magic. She could have just gone like, bang, get it in there.
Yeah, she could have.
Sometimes Twilight forgets that she has magic.
Sometimes when Twilight's worried about books and reading, she forgets about everything.
Uh-huh.
There are guards everywhere, and she looks like she's about to kick the bucket. Oh, that poor bucket. Look at Pinkie. Pinkie's worried about the bucket. She's like ready to cry over it. I'm like, oh my God, Pinkie. Oh boy. So they open the door, which is the worst thing in the world to do.
Yeah.
And I love the guard. 4 days to retirement.
Of course.
The guard is Murtaugh. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this book right by the door. Thank you. What the hell, princess? And she escapes. Duh. She then tells her quote-unquote origin story where she just kind of came to be.
Yeah, from a magical acorn nut, looks like.
Yep. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, I really like her origin story.
So we have the wizard there. Mm-hmm. Another, is it the same? No, it's not the same one. It's not Swirl.
Star Swirl? No, I don't think it is.
No, it's not. It's a completely different design if it is. He's got a bite on his neck, too.
Nice. Well, he got bit by one of her little minions.
Oh, that's right. That's okay. Yeah, I see. So I love the sign for the bog, and he's across the way here. The sign, probably magic. Do not approach. What is the SSTB?
SSTB
on the sign.
Oh, it is Star Swirl the Bearded. So that is him, because he's the one that's putting up the sign. Because he's he's noticing that the plants are coming to life and stuff. So he's the one that puts up the sign. So that is him. Yes.
It's just a completely different design for him though, compared to what we saw in the other story. Yeah. Okay.
Star Swirl the Bearded. Yeah.
There is no story. I was born this way. God. I believe it's Katie Cook that's writing this final issue. She just turned Chrysalis into Lady Gaga.
There's nothing wrong with that. Lady Gaga's awesome. I could actually see Lady Gaga as Chrysalis.
You kids and your pop music today. So we have a see you soon, princess, and she flies off singing.
Mm-hmm. Just like Lady Gaga.
So you're going to update your report to include the day you let one of Equestria's most notorious villains escape? I have a quill. I can write it in now. That was Spike saying that. Who wants to tell Princess Celestia about this?
Not it.
I love this panel. This is so cool. It's a good thing Rarity doesn't have a mirror because she would be going ballistic. Look at Rarity. I mean,
he looks like a scarecrow.
Yeah, pretty much. And poor Pinkie. Pinkie is her entire face is pretty much buried in the mud. Attention, citizens of Equestria! Changelings are on the loose. Look under your bed. Don't open the door. Beware. The end? Question mark. I really dug these this trade, these stories. Like I said, I have a few quibbles with a certain But the story elements that I have quibbles with, I really can't. I'm not going to sit here and fault the writers or anything, because it's story plot elements that are used everywhere anyway. So it's not like it's really going to matter, you know. But I know this is pretty fun for the most part.
Oh, I loved all of them, and I love Chrysalis. I love her origin story. It's so creepy. Oh, so it has like all the basic horror elements, and I just love it.
The only thing I was kind of missing was, and I'm not sure out of the original 6 who would be best. I think almost Pinkie would be best at doing this, but it's basically missing that Scream narrator. You know what I mean?
I could see her narrator.
The whole thing of you're not supposed, the classic rules of horror movies. You don't open the door. You don't split up. You don't. I can see Pinkie doing that.
Because no matter what, Pinkie survives.
Well,
Pinkie's like
because she's that damn crazy. Mm-hmm. That's why.
Yeah, I love Pinkie.
Yeah, Pinkie is pretty awesome.
I love all these origin stories. Because it's just like I just like knowing, why did they become evil? What made them so bad? What was their turning point? What was their story of tragedy? Because they're all pretty tragic stories.
Right. Yeah. I think, and I meant to mention this when we were talking about the Nightmare Moon one. After reading that, I wrote in my notes, "Hey, this is basically BTAS Perchance to Dream, but with ponies."
Pretty much.
But no, it's a good thing. Like I said, I really, really enjoyed this trade overall. I think it's nice that they went and did villain stories. I'm hoping, I'm going to defer to you because you know more about the stuff than I do. I don't know how many more good ponies or bad ponies there are, but I would almost like to see more villain one-shots and just kind of see certain things in the future eventually.
Oh, they've got other villains and stuff. I mean, they can still do Discord.
Yeah, they could still do Discord. I can't believe we missed him at first.
I know! I love that guy, too.
Oh boy. Alright folks, that's going to do it for us. Next time around in episode 132, we're going to be doing Friendship is Magic Volumes 1 and 2. Yes, we are crazy. 2 trades, 1 podcast. We're not going to go through the entire trades because we'll be here for 4.5, 5 hours. We're going to do it by bullet points and notes and, write out a few paragraphs as we read that kind of stuff. So that's how we're going to do that. And then after that, it'll be Friends Forever Volumes 1 and 2. We're going to take the same approach with that as well. And then that'll be it for Fiendship is Friendship February. So there's 2 more episodes after this. I think episode 133 is probably going to end up being the first week of March. So we could be a
it happens.
bunch...
February's a short month, so...
Well, this year it's a long month by 1 day.
Woo! All you people that are salaried, you work that day for free. Whenever I was a salary employee, I'm like, I hate this day. I'm working this day basically for free.
Oh boy. Where can the people interact with you online?
Basically just go and Google Beatlesdiva. That's me. Beatles like the band, not the bug. You know the routine, people.
Yeah. All right, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at The Pullbag on Twitter, facebook.com/The Pullbag for the podcast, at Geekcast Radio on Twitter. I am at TFU and Mike. Make your great escape into comics and take that last exit to Ponyville. We will catch you next time.
Aloha.
And now, it is my great honor to introduce to you the ruler of our land, the very pony who gives us the sun and the moon each and every day, the good, the wise, the bringer of harmony to all of Equestria.
Ready?
Princess Celestia!
Huh? This can't be good.
Remain calm, every pony. There must be a reasonable explanation.
Oh, I love guessing
games. Is she hiding?
She's gone!
Ooh, she's good. Oh no.
Nightmare Moon!
Oh, my beloved subjects. It's been so long since I've seen your precious little sun-loving faces.
What did you do with our princess?
Why? Am I not royal enough for you? Don't you know who I am?
Ooh, more guessing games. Hokey Smokes. How about Queen Mimi? No, Black Snooty, Black Snooty.
Does my crown no longer count now that I have been imprisoned for 1,000 years? Did you not recall the legend? Did you not see the signs?
I did, and I know who you are. You're the Mare in the Moon, Nightmare Moon.
Well, 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 some pony who remembers me. Then you also know why I'm here.
You're here to...
Remember this day, little ponies, for it was your last. From this moment forth, the night will last forever.
That was barely worth the effort, Adagio. I'm tired of fast food. I need a meal.
The energy in this world isn't the same as in Equestria. We can only gain so much power here.
Oh, I wish we'd never been banished to this awful place.
Really? I love it here.
For realsies? Because I think this place is the worst.
I think you're the worst, Sonata.
Oh yeah? Well, I think you're...
Ugh. I'll tell you one thing. Being stuck here with you two isn't making this world any more bearable.
Just heard the latest episode of The Pull Bag, the GCRN's comic review and discussion podcast. There are several ways to get in touch with us and leave feedback for the show. You can visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on the episode and all of our different podcasts. You can rate our show on iTunes. Be sure to leave us feedback. Call the voicemail line, 502-526-5821. Please remember to tell us the show you are leaving the message for, and your name. Become a fan of us on Facebook by searching Geekcast Radio Network. Send us an email feedback at geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at GeekCastRadio. So until next time, make your great escape into comics and unleash the geek in you.